Stopped in my tracks, inspired something unique. What a sight to behold, I need to hear how she speaks. So it's good, you probably hear that on a daily. How about I order you another Bailey? Continue conversating. First my name is Ant, what's yours? I didn't catch it. Generate man, cause it's time for some action. Really dig your style, I got a place we can go. Tell me baby you're free, cause if you are then I'm sold. Yeah.
I want you to vibe with me, baby. It'll be alright with me, baby. But we can get high, see the stars in the sky. Just you and I, let the time pass us by. I just want you to vibe with me, baby. It'll be alright with me, baby. My love is innocent, genuine, infinite. I want you to vibe with me, baby. It'll be alright with me, baby.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight to Chicks and Flicks. I'm here with Bianca Pittman. She's my own personal feminine, divine feminine healer. She's healing my vajayjay since yesterday.
Since yesterday.
Yes.
I think you need to explain that before you went to healing my vagina.
Well,
I'd have really explained the young lady's
I love
background.
her too. That's why I'm just feeling so free today. and it didn't require a man.
Ooh,
So
okay.
That
I mean,
see,
there's
you
nothing
just
wrong
like
with
that's
it,
like
but I'm just
shots
saying.
galore going on all over.
So
Divine healing for yourself.
yes.
Self-care that you don't need a man for.
You don't need a man for it. That'll sound like every guy was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
I'm not one of those women that say that. I'm not one of those.
We
But
need more
have to-
explanation and
We
stuff.
have to heal ourselves so
This is all
that we
about
can be better
for you.
That's what it is.
Thank you for showing up. Tell us a little something about yourself, please.
So I am a divine feminine healer, and I'm helping women tap into their inner goddess through womb health.
And what is the healing? What is that?
So the healing is self-care healing, like womb healing, uterine health, helping women be more knowledgeable about tapping into their wombs and connecting with themselves and healing themselves naturally.
All right, fellas, that's code for tight vajayjays, okay?
And so we know why we act crazy sometimes, and we
Well,
can't
y'all
get
just
some
crazy,
control.
period.
Well,
Like,
no.
especially like some more than others.
Sometimes there's, it has to do with the time of the month, and there are some hormonal imbalances that have us sometimes a little imbalanced in the mind state as
See,
well.
she gets chakras.
So I'm
in
helping
order.
align your female so that she can be in alignment with you.
I know that whole. I don't know. I've never really been a true believer in that whole. Okay, it's my cycle. That's why I'm a rageful individual. I just think most women are like rageful individuals. No,
Maybe because you're
No,
not a woman and you don't know what it feels like to have a baby, have a period,
do you feel? You know what
deal
blue
with a
balls feel
man that's
like?
annoying.
You know what
Let me
blue
see
balls feel
else.
like?
Almost. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. Like,
Almost.
That's
But if you have a woman, you're not supposed to have that.
Just right honest.
It depends on the individual. Like I'm on I have a very, very high sex drive. So if I could get out on it all day, every day.
Well, you can't. You have to work. You have to
Right.
school.
So
Yeah,
like
I mean, so
I
it's
still,
not her fault.
so
that
men
you're
go
not getting it all
through
day, every day.
blue balls. Not it is, even if it's on a regular basis. Especially if you have like a high sex drive, you just want it.
Okay, so is your...
But you're not gonna get blue balls just because you're horny. Now, come on.
Imagine
Don't
a woman
say
is
that.
not climaxing every time she has sex with
That
you.
is true.
So
Absolutely.
imagine how blue her uterus is.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
See?
I like that.
So
I like that.
if
Take
fuck.
a little more
If we
time.
measured orgasms by the amount of like pregnancies, like a woman can only get pregnant based off an orgasm, we would have no babies
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be-
that's crazy. Yeah.
No population.
at all. So,
No overpopulation.
see, guys, y'all gotta do better because
Wow, we gotta do better.
you're in control of giving her the orgasm or making her comfortable enough to reach
Right,
that state.
right.
If she's not comfortable, she's not reaching it.
You need to check yourself.
And
on
if
it.
you're just, you're focusing on yourself, then you're not really focusing on her.
All right, so let me ask this question: If you look at it from male female orgasm side, let's say if you have sex with your partner 5
Just the
times in a
person
week,
that called me did that for me.
all right, I'm gonna get her later for that. Don't worry about it. How many of those should you feel that should be a woman should be able to relieve herself?
Every time, 5 times.
So every time,
Are you relieving yourself every time?
not really.
Stop
Where's the
lying.
really-
No, seriously, like
Where's
no,
the
Realtor.
really?
There are times where like I don't think, and I always explain it from a male female perspective. Like a woman, it's a whole. You know, it doesn't have to worry about staying erect. So from a guy's standpoint, sometimes we zone the fuck out.
It has to worry about staying moist.
You zone out. And
Like when you a lot of thought and concentration goes into a man making sure he's erect.
Because he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to pre-ejaculate too
So
fast.
he's
Okay.
keeping his
So
mind
sometimes you gotta concentrate on different things.
start thinking about work.
But
and shit.
sometimes
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
Every situation is
I
different.
mean, being in it doesn't keep you.
No,
It's like
I put like
that,
this for those women who are able to be wet and tight and know the moves and all that stuff. You have to understand it's really hard for a man when you got the woman who knows what she's doing to be like, all right, as soon as he get in there and it's not, oh shit, all right, what had happened? Give me 5 minutes. You start to comp and please and shit like that. So we zone out sometimes. So sometimes we think about different things in different
Different
situations.
women.
Oh, so when you're zoning out.
No, not different. I'm not saying
So when
different
you're
women.
zoning out, you're not pleasing.
I don't. I mean, we're not.
When
putting-
you're zoning out, you're not really pleasing then because you're not mentally there.
No, you're there, but what it
But are
is,
you-
you're
are you
there
trying
with
to
the
make sure that
individual,
she's
but you're
feeling-
trying to make sure that 40, 50 minute, 10 minute doesn't turn into 10, 5 seconds. Like, I ain't gonna front. When
So
I
you're
first
trying-
started
so
out, I was
basically,
like 1
you have
minute and
to-
done.
You have to distract yourself from feeling good so that you won't.
Yeah, you
Right,
gotta bring
but
yourself in
that-
and out.
In that time of
Oh.
you distracting yourself from feeling good, how do you know if you're making sure she's feeling good in that moment?
I have issues. So
It's
like,
better to just come
I'm
and
like
then come
savagery.
again than to just not to.
it's like borderline rape type shit, but in a good way. No, it's just like, you bring yourself in and out. You know what I
Alright.
mean? You're there at the moment, but when that shit really wet and feeling good, you gotta pull yourself back. Like, nigga,
Well, we
you
know
ain't
that's
good.
when y'all change positions.
No,
a lot of times.
nigga who do
But
that, I mean, it's something different. But like alright. No, some dudes
If
do
you
that.
don't change
Some dudes do that.
position to start like to
I don't
start
have-
a new.
I don't have that
restart?
issue.
That's not a restart.
I don't have that issue. Like I'm like people watch this show, they watch me all. I'm savagery anyway. Like depending on the position. Like, but some guys do switch up. Try to give themselves time to like
Yeah,
calm
they
it back
gotta
down.
get some
It does
composure.
happen. Like I'm not one of those.
Well, I want to know this, and I'm not asking about you. I'm asking
Right.
about your friends that are single. Not you.
Right, not
But I
me.
know you talk to them, and I'm just curious. How many times do guys think about those Instagram models that they be seeing twerking all day when we're thinking that they're into us and they're really thinking about
If you're
them?
wifey, me never. If it's
You
a
don't
bitch, I'm
fantasize
just
I mean, they don't fantasize about other women while they're sleeping with another woman.
usually the women that like I settle down, like I love sexy. I give a fuck about pretty. To me, pretty wears off. You're pretty, give me something fucking else. To me, sexy is where like you literally have to beat me off of you. Like stop fucking touching me, fucking for real. To where you'll go on vacation, just get away from me. So to me, I don't
No
have
woman
those.
has that problem.
I don't-
We-
yeah,
Well,
like,
no, you gotta remember
where
like
are you?
Because we don't-
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just saying because like there are guys
I
who.
know, like, where are
Because
you?
we never see them.
I just say like.
Us all be- Me too.
Like I always say, like I have issues. Like I always say, I have deep rooted. Like I love sexy. Like I know myself, and that's what I like. I always say, like if a woman looks at me, she's like, yo, he's nice, he's attractive. She's psychotic because that's why I attract psychotic women. Period. You see her eyes? All right. So, So like I
was
say, like
thinking of
just
another question.
yeah. All right, so that's all. Like I love sexy. Like I can't deal with pretty. Pretty is something I look at and be like, it's nice, but I wouldn't pursue it. Like it's something about you that it turns me on. Something about me that I would literally be all over you like white on rice. And that's what I am. You have some people just think pretty, but she's pretty and that's it. You know what I mean? It's not like she has a mean walk. She has sex appeal. Her hands,
She's a
her feet.
Sagittarius,
Like
like-
yeah, something like that.
We're sensual beings.
That is
all
true.
The
That
time.
is true.
We don't have dryness and we don't have
Yeah.
cold wombs. We're
So
warm all the time.
It's different. So like the women I wind up dealing with are sexy. So I don't have that like, okay, I don't look at them and I'm not turned on. There's always something about them I like, whether it's a body part, a smile, eyes, anything like that for me personally. So I don't have that like
any
libido.
man has their different things.
Well,
that
I know some
attract
men
them
attract
to a
women for
woman.
different reasons.
Right.
She pretty as hell, but like she ain't got nothing else going for her.
What's the
You know what I
difference
mean?
between pretty and sexy?
Sex is you got like it's something to appeal. Like I look at you and I'm turned on. You know what I mean? Like whereas as far as most women, well, some guys they date women, she has to get naked and actually start touching a dude for him to get turned on. Like sex is like I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh my god.
Well, let me ask you this because somebody mentioned this last night. We're not
Yeah.
going to say any names, so, we don't want to incriminate anybody. But after the show, one of the guys that was leaving with us said that when you're with somebody for a long time, you go soft when you're having sex with her. If you've
Absolutely
been-
not. He's dating pretty.
No, he's married. He's
married to
her.
pretty.
Well, was he saying that they go soft during sex or going soft as in just being soft towards her, like
I think
a pussy?
I think more aligns with
Like-
what happens in a lot of relationships with men and women in long-term relationships. You're dealing with a woman that is not sexually appealing to you on all aspects. My belief is a woman should never use the word no in the bedroom. And those women are women that keep their men happy and satisfied physically, mentally, and sexually at home.
So what if she want to do some things that you gonna tell her no in the bedroom?
Because I was sexually assaulted, anything other than sticking anything in my ass, I'm gold. You know what I mean? Other than
That's
that.
where the G spot is though.
No, you can lick my ass all day long. I like you say you want to lick my ass, I'm bending over right now. You know what I'm saying? But the
when you
actually
lick
penetration,
it, your
again,
tongue
because
is
of my
gonna go
sexual assault.
inside. It's not just gonna stay outside. It's gonna go inside.
I'm talking about penetration. Like I said, because
So not
of
a
my,
finger.
What
Okay,
happened to
not a
me
finger,
prior,
but a
right?
tongue
Not
is
finger,
okay.
tongue
But I
all
don't
day.
even feel like it's because of what happened to you. Because I think a lot
No,
of
I'll
guys
snap. Like
but
I'm
a lot-
fucked up in the head.
Oh, but a lot of guys don't even want to.
Well, a lot of guys,
Yeah.
again, it's that whole gay mentality. You think because you're doing something, it's gay, and gay true definition is same sex situations.
Right, it's
So
not-
even for those guys, that's on you. It's not for me. Even for those guys that like their women to pound their assholes out, it's still a female. It's not a male.
But she's using a male organ.
She. You use that whole
She's
word.
using a thing that only
but you're,
men
the
have.
first thing you
Day,
said is she's
it's
using.
It's
But she
there for
doesn't
a
have a
reason, though.
penis.
But it's hit the male G spot is in the anus. So you're penetrating the prostate. So it's there for a reason. It's not saying it can only be touched by a dick. Like
No, I feel what you're saying. Me, unless a chick want to get knocked the fuck out.
no,
yeah.
I
But
know,
other
I
than,
understand.
other than that,
I mean, not saying I be trying to go for the booty hole and stuff like that, because I know most
it
guys.
sound
not
like it.
even-
It sound like she
they
trying to go
not
straight
even
for it.
with
Like
it, but
I'm gonna make you
just
come like you ain't
knowing
never
that's
come
where
before.
it's at. It's like, how do I get there?
Right.
I feel you on that.
I mean,
I feel you on that.
we're all, friends and adults here.
Oh, true,
Like,
true.
I won't tell.
Crazy.
I'm
But for
not gonna share that.
for that guy, I
information.
think he's with a person who doesn't understand the long-termness of a true relationship. One, you once you're in a relationship, once the moment you stop dating each other, it's an issue, a problem. Once you get complacent in the bedroom, like I dated a girl for a while that all she wanted was missionary position, and she had.
Well, she should have known.
Well, I'm
better
just
than
saying,
that.
just like,
come
and to
on.
me,
I
she was
can't
one of the
stand
my
boring.
top.
Yeah.
She was my top 5 sexiest women ever.
Oh, but she wasn't sexy in bed.
But when they come to the action, feel like beautiful face. She was a model. She had the top. She had the bottom. It was all hers. She was like 6'1", so she had the long legs. She had the walk. She had everything. But when it came to the actual physicality of it, after a while, that shit got boring as shit, and I started fucking other bitches. But
She only wanted missionary. I mean,
Well, what
she
does she
should've
expect?
expected that. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. But like for her, that was what was comfortable for her. So she needed a guy that was comfortable with that.
That's not
but
comfortable
I
long-term to-
talked
No,
myself
who
out of it
guys
for a
don't
while.
be
Who's comfortable with that forever?
No, there are a lot of guys who. I mean, there are a lot of guys who don't
To
like
be in
their
the
dick
control-
sucked.
what?
There
No,
are guys. Yeah.
I do know of a guy who, when in a relationship with a female, he doesn't like his dick sucked by his girlfriend.
Right. He think
but
that's
if it, degrading.
Any other
but
chick,
anybody else is fine.
right.
But when
I'm
you
like
become my
open
girlfriend,
mouth.
I'm not.
squirting all day.
But to me, that is just an excuse for him to be able to do
Not
No, that's
that.
not an
saying,
excuse.
not
See-
saying when
Because-
he's my friend. Not saying
No,
when
no,
he's
no.
in a relationship.
That's
he's
a guy
cheating
who
to get
has-
head. No, he
No,
just
no.
doesn't want.
No, I'm saying,
not
but that's a
getting
guy who has mother.
head. He's just not getting head.
He has
Yeah.
son. I don't know if son mother issues. That's issues in the household.
Oh yeah.
That is definitely like an issue in the household that happened between his moms. Not saying that crazy shit. I'm just saying like shit he's seen, or he holds his mother in a higher regard. Maybe that's the way his father was. So he felt his side bitches, it's skeet all day. But for his wife, it's like, no, nah, I hold you at a high regard.
Like he's
someone
like, I don't
that.
want you on your knees. Like,
But
Right.
I
isn't
don't
that
want you.
unfair? He could stand up. She could sit on the bed.
Well, it's different.
She can lay down like a straight,
No, I'm saying for every situation, it's different. You know what I mean? For every a person, it's different. And that's how people look at things differently. Like me, I'm saying, like, the woman I'm with, if I'm with her long term, the word no doesn't belong in her vocabulary when it comes
Yeah.
to sex.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that shit.
Well, why
Whatever.
should it?
Under
No.
any circumstance. It's called toes,
Yeah.
elbows, and assholes. Let's get it popping. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So, like, if the person doesn't want to hear, maybe, then that doesn't flow for me. But like I say, every individual person is different.
Right.
And it, it's different. So that for that person, that's a person who got to, that situation with their wife to now the sexual is boring. He does it just to do it. He doesn't do it because she still turns him on.
Right.
He thinks she's still beautiful. She's still sexy. That's
It's like
the situation is.
Let me do this. Like,
It's like, all right, it's
I mean, he was
Tuesday, it's
saying
8
it as if-
o'clock.
Because what we were saying is that because you guys are outwardly, and you come in and you bring in things into us that are from the outside, and he said, well, you guys are and you have an inside, so you still stuff goes in you, the energy. We're talking about bad energy and stuff, and just pollution, anything.
I mean,
you know
because
what I mean?
sex is not just a physical thing. Like, people
You
don't
ain't lying.
realize that even if you're wearing a condom, you're still transferring energy.
Absolutely.
So it's like sacred energy transferring.
Right.
So if you are trying to cut a cord from somebody and like really like separate yourself from someone, but you're still having sex with them, that is it's still a spiritual tie that's going on.
It is. Real quick, shout out to Goddess Simone. Thank you. As a new subscriber. Came to us from our show from LaShonda, and she
okay.
subscribed, and now she's watching. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome to Chicks and Flicks. I think mental is different. Like, if you mentally into someone, like, that makes the sex even more better. I don't care what they pack in. Someone that takes the time to care for you and caress you and understand the actual best part of sex is the foreplay.
Right.
Like, to me, the initial part, yeah, that's all right. You know what I mean? But
It's
that
getting to
that
it.
leading
It's
up
getting
to
there.
that text, yo, I'm coming home.
From the text.
It's about to be
text.
on and fucking popping. Or, just something, fresh out the shower, in the shower, something. You get that nice appeal. They put your shirt on or whatever the situation may be. And to me, again, that goes back to being sexy. If it's someone that you look, a guy you're dating, and whether it's the way his shirt fits, women's favorite thing, these sweatpants, you know what I'm saying? I want to see the print, and that doesn't mean shit, women, because there are growers and there are showers. So it depends, it's different. So, but there's something about a guy or that individual you're dating that is sexy. And that turns you on during the course of the day. You'll be home cooking without seasoning if we're talking about E. And, you know what I mean? We're doing something, and then the thought come through your mind, like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's sexy to me. Not that, they're home and, it's 8 o'clock, it's Wednesday, and I just happen to be running across porn. Or something came through a TV or a boob or a titty or something. And now I just happen to get a little feeling down there.
And I'm like-
so I'm like, all right, fuck it. She's here. Let's
Right.
just let it go.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
That's
nah.
terrible.
And how
I
often
think
does
what
that
he was
happen?
saying, and that happens a lot. A lot.
Well, I mean, a
But
lot of
this is what
people
he was
date for the
saying.
wrong
he
reasons.
said that he's married and, because we asked him about it. He said, because I'm thinking more about her than myself. And then it came into him, just saying like he's starting to be submissive, where whatever she wants, even if he wants to fight her with it, she gets it.
Right.
Then that's,
And I'm going to show you his woman
really-
because
sexist?
She's nothing to be fighting over?
No, she's a very vivacious. What is it?
Okay.
Vivacious?
Yeah.
Voluptuous?
Voluptuous?
well, maybe that's not what they
Voluptuous.
like. You got some dudes who just like specific parts or specific built type women. But in that situation, as much as like, if we're interacting in sex, a lot of people feed off the person they're having sex with.
Right.
The way they feel, the way they sound, the things and the movements. So if you got someone that's just like,
Well, no, I think what it is that he's been married to her and she's basically doing whatever she wants.
Well, I understand that,
and
but the
he's
fact that
appeasing
he's
her.
not-
So now he's disgusted.
But that's
and
the whole
he feels
thing.
like he's like
Right.
a slave to
So
her.
no matter-
So he's turned off.
right, so that's what I'm
That's-
saying.
Majority of the time, that's the woman's role. That's how women be feeling.
Shit, fellas,
Yeah.
you step your fucking game up.
That's
Yeah.
how we be feeling majority
Yeah.
of the time. So for him to feel that way, I don't even feel bad because join the club. Like I've been feeling that way.
Y'all wrong as
Yes,
hell
we
for
do
that.
everything in our power to make someone happy and they're still not satisfied.
I mean,
Right.
some women.
a lot of
Some,
women.
no,
A lot
some.
of women.
My
A
ass.
lot.
You got some
A
women
lot
that
of
suck
women.
dick on occasions. You got some women that put the full effort in on occasions. I mean, and not just men,
Because
just
a
men,
lot of
just men
times,
too, because
though-
you get hit with that representative, that beginner
No,
person.
it's not that. What it is
I'm-
that-
what is it?
What
It's
I
what
tell
she
you about
just
the
said.
representative earlier.
Because we give our all, and then when we feel like we're not being appreciated, we're not interested anymore in
That's
giving our
then
all.
that you're being untrue to yourself.
we're almost
that's
about
the
to
thing,
break up
because-
half the time. That's
right.
what's gonna happen
I've
because
been-
I want to be like that with somebody.
I'm
I've
saying,
been
but
in a
then you're being
position
untrue
to
to
the
yourself
point-
because you're allowing someone to make you something you're not.
Right,
No,
because
it's just
I
that
like
I'm
to
not-
treat people how I want to be treated.
Right.
Right.
But then it
right.
comes to a point where it's like, damn, I'm gonna have to treat you how you treated me because
That's
now
it.
I'm
That's
I'm
it.
just,
Right, but then you're becoming someone you're not.
exactly
for
If-
them,
for
not
them.
in general.
But it doesn't make it. If you're not being your natural self, then no matter what in that situation, you're not going to be happy.
Everybody doesn't get the privilege of, just like they say, everybody doesn't have the privilege of knowing
You to
all
the
of
full
you
capacity.
or who you are.
Well, it's
or
because we don't
getting the
communicate.
benefits of
You're
being
scared
with
to ask the truth. Am I satisfying you? What do I need to do better to satisfy you? Ain't nobody a beast of all relationships. Nah. Who you've been having sex with is different than the person you're having sex with now. Everybody likes different things. Communicate. What
No,
do you
we're-
like?
We're talking
well, we can't
about-
even talk about vaginas, so
That is true. Well, since we're on
guys
this,
don't
we're gonna
even
go.
really
We're gonna start
want
with her segment.
to really like talk about being able to please a woman even better in bed without taking offense to
Right.
maybe their manhood or anything like that. Like you have to be open to constructive
Yeah,
criticism.
niggas that can hit
Exactly.
shit you can't hit, fellas. It is what it is. It is. Whatever you got,
You
work it,
have
nigga.
to want.
Work it.
If you really genuinely want to please somebody and you're focused on pleasing them,
Absolutely.
they know that, and that allows them to be pleased by you better than someone who you know they don't care if they're
Absolutely.
pleasing you.
I mean, it's just
So-
like eating pussy. I tell you, fellas, the moment you stick your finger in the vagina, that's the worst shit in the fucking world. Like fingers
Why?
don't belong in a vagina.
Oh.
I'm sorry. The tongue.
He has a bunch of rules.
Yeah, I do.
I
Like,
think fingers,
I
I don't.
No, I'm saying that if that's your forte, it works for you. Cool. I love a woman to ride my fucking face.
Listen, all right, but that doesn't exclude the fingers. Like, come on.
That's just the
Who
worst.
said
It's
that?
just-
Who said you can't?
Like,
I mean, if they do it like that, yeah.
that's just like
You gotta
just.
know how to roll
It's-
the fingers up the piano like that.
Right, you gotta hit them spots with them
Yes.
fingers.
I'm
Use
on
the middle
face,
finger.
Yeah,
tongue.
you can't
I
just
want
use
the
one
juices
finger.
all over. Girl, something just fell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want all that good shit. I want, you know.
So lick your fingers.
But that's
afterwards. I
just
don't know.
me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to lick fingers. I don't want, like, that's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
I mean, I don't want it done like that.
Not the way you just described
But
it.
you know, like you gotta be catching E's faces, and she be like, "Hold on, yeah, that shit don't even sound like that shit." Like, nigga, what the fuck you doing down there? It's like, no, because like to be honest with you, it's called eating pussy, licking pussy. It's called actually
Sucking pussy.
sucking dick.
Yes.
Suck, right? A lot of women think just because their mouth pass over, it's actually sucking. No. Like, no. And there's other shits of the dick, not just the shaft. There's the balls, there's the tip.
You gotta
work. Yeah, just like fellas. You can't just sit there and just
Coordinate.
clit it all the time. It's just straight clit. No, there's other parts of the vagina.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're gonna we have issues. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we can.
We're just gonna start with this young lady here.
Yes.
We're just gonna start because we already went all into it, whatever.
So since we're talking about vaginas,
Let's go.
I'm here to create the conversation around vaginas and make it a more pleasurable conversation. I feel like vaginas or the topic is so taboo, and we all came from one, seen one, been in one.
Well, why do you think that is? Where it's more of like, you know, you gotta like whisper it, and you know, we kind of have a conversation earlier about people trying to be more open and honest with it, and feeling better about themselves. So why do you think people like?
I don't know. I think like, especially because we have periods and things like that, I think that gives that little stigma. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
you get
gosh,
7 days before I go down
bleeding
there
and
after your period, like 7 days.
So that's your rule?
Yeah, I'm not
So
going
you
right
don't
after.
do it while you don't have sex while the person.
Oh, I have sex, but I ain't putting my face down there. Like I need a certain amount of days
Even
passing.
inside. That's
Even
what-
having sex on your period though is not healthy.
Oh,
it's
really?
not?
No.
Oh, break it down to us.
Well, like, so we're detoxing, and you're kind of like coming in between our time of detoxing.
Right.
We're supposed to be releasing this energy, releasing our uterine lining and things like that.
What's
And
good, Miss Martinez?
It can
She said your ladies are talking the truth.
coincide with bacterias and things like that we're really trying to get rid of.
expunge.
For a physical aspect, it's probably good for, it's wet, it's moist.
Nah, pregnant pussy. Lord have mercy. They want to get a bitch pregnant just to have sex.
Oh, my
I think what happens a lot of times is I think a lot of women forget about sex during their menstruation.
Because so when you're on your period and things like that, it's like we have an emotional imbalance. Like, we're not supposed to be stressed or do anything. Obviously sex is not a stressful thing, but we're not supposed to do anything that leads up to us being stressed during our periods.
Okay.
So I think like the PMS and all that stuff, some people only PMS because they are stressed. Some people don't have PMS.
Right.
So it's all about the condition of the body and the mental state of the person.
Right.
And that's what coincides with if they're going to have a PMSing period or not.
Me personally, I think it would happen more if women remember God gave them 3 holes to work with. And during your period, there are other ways to satisfy the person you with other than the vag.
So are you trying to satisfy her when she's on her period?
Absolutely.
How?
Not.
But-
No, I'm just joking. No, I mean, like, I understand the whole situation, but like, again, coming from like a person with a high sex drive, I don't want to hear that shit.
So if she's having heavy cramps,
Oh no,
she's
if
having
it's
a
like one of
headache,
those extreme
are you
shits,
rubbing her feet? Are you running her a bath?
Yeah,
Are you
I do the
trying
rub
to-
backs
okay.
thing. Anything I can do for you, I'll cook.
Now
whatever.
come and give me some head after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Because like this shit didn't got up because I'm rubbing you and then I'm rubbing you. And
But
like,
if she takes a bath first, then there's a little bit of time.
Got a little bit of
period where she
time.
might
'Cause,
have
like-
a lot of blood coming out.
well, just because like again I'm a savage, so everything sounds like a round of applause. So it's just more lines of it's gonna come back down. But what I'm saying is just I think more lines for that situation. I think a lot of women do, and it may not be like purposely, but I think a lot of women forget about satisfying or pleasing their man because they are on their menstruation. They're called hand jobs. There are other things, but I think a lot of times when women go through that cycle, they forget about certain things.
And I think it's also because women aren't really taking proper care of themselves.
Yeah, men want that wet. Yes.
Women are not really taking proper care of themselves, which is why we're having
Ms. Martinez.
such horrid periods and things like that. Because
No,
a
they
period
do.
is
They
not
do.
supposed to be painful. It's not supposed to be long. You're not supposed to be drained and things like that. But when you are showing those type of signs, it's showing you that your body is not in balance.
Okay. So how could the women get that in balance?
So
fellas can
basically,
get that?
if you are experiencing any type of cramping and things during your period, which we're taught that it's normal, it's not normal. That means that you have too much cold energy in your womb. So you might want to do like some heating pads. You might want to eat like foods it's all about balance. So if you could, like ginger is a heat producing food. So if you have too much coldness in your uterus, then you might want to eat ginger and things that are going to counteract that coldness.
Natural. So you would say
to
other
make it more
than
of a neutral.
so not
balance.
popping like mad.
No, we're not doing
pills
we're not
and,
doing no. So this is all about healing you from the inside out.
Naturally?
It's
Okay.
not about covering up what's going on with you for 2 hours or whatever like that.
Right.
It's trying to change your body so that when your next cycle comes, you have that change.
So
going
it's
on.
you would do ginger prior to, during,
You could do
before,
ginger
after?
like while you're
and that would subside the pain. Okay, so how much ginger would you?
I would.
you out,
You could do
fellas.
like ginger tea.
Fellas just run into a
You
nature
could do
shop
ginger-
right now.
Ginger candies. If you're somebody who has if you're more heat based, so if you have a lot of heat in your room and things like that, you might be cold all the time. You might be the one that always want to wear socks and things like that. So you would counteract that heat with like something more cold, like watermelon or beans and things that are going to
Particular beans, specific
no,
type of
no,
beans, just
like
beans in general.
lentils, any
So
type
what does
of
beans give off?
So the beans, so when you have too much coldness in your uterus, in your womb, you have a lot of dampness. So the beans and things dries out that dampness. So like I said, it's all about duality, all about yin and yang. So like, we'll talk about the chakras. So like your chakras, you have you have chakras all over your body, but you have 7 energy centers that go along the base of your spine. Each of them correlate to a certain part of your body, but in order for them to be balanced, they need both that yin and yang energy. So it's all about trying to keep your body in a conducive flow of things.
All right, shout out to Steve Jones. Goes on to say that is nasty when she is on her period. Sex is taboo when she's on her cycle. Sex time is out during that time. Robert Sparks goes on to say, I've been in on this one. I feel you. So there are some people who don't believe on in actually having sex
period.
during the period. I mean, me, I don't care less. Like when I want it, but I understand there's some people that are like offish or whatever.
Some people
so
are
I want to
grossed
ask
out
you,
by it.
gentlemen, what do you
People just
feel
grossed out
about
by blood? Some people are just grossed out by the fact that
By
we
the blood.
bleed. Like,
Right. All right. So, what do you feel about? Is it no sex during that cycle at all? Talking about like her maybe using her hands, her mouth, or maybe her
they're
anus.
not gonna say
Are you
you
fellas
can't
with
do
that
that.
also or not? I'm asking questions. You punk ass over there. Make me start on you.
Leave me alone.
It ain't happening. So, so for a woman to get herself right, because you're saying
So
during the course of a woman's flow, period, grandma, friend, whatever you want to call it, it shouldn't be painful.
it shouldn't be painful.
So
you have to listen to your body. Like
Right.
when you're experiencing, our uterus, if we don't have a healthy spleen or a healthy kidneys and like liver, then we don't have healthy periods. So when you're cramping and things like that, it's your body is showing you that you need to take better care of your liver as far as detoxing,
Right.
or your spleen as far as making sure that like you don't, because you're not supposed to have like, well, you're not a female, but most females when they have their periods, they have like before or after they have like a brown like bruised type of blood. And we're not supposed to have we're not supposed to have that type of blood. We're supposed to have like a solid like red kind of blood, and it's supposed to be 4 days long. So if your period is like 5 to 7 days and it's crampy and things like that, and you're dreading your period every single month, that's a problem. And it's the fact that you need to listen to your body, and your body is, by cramping, it's telling you that you have too much coldness going on in your womb. You're not supposed to have blood clots and things like that. If you have that brown blues blood, it's because your period didn't properly detox your last period.
Okay.
So now you have blood from your last period that's still trying to.
So we got ginger that should be taken on a regular basis.
Vinegar is good for warming.
Now, is that because my sister, she does the vinegar, she does a teaspoon every morning type situation. So are you saying consume it or just
apple cider vinegar? So yeah, so taking like a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar will remove the stagnant blood and the dampness from your uterus.
Okay, and that's daily. Yeah. So this is something that should be done on a daily basis to throughout a life course to help women relieve that situation. If you do this on a regular basis,
right,
you'll start to experience less
I would say like
difficulties.
organic vinegar, rice vinegar, brown vinegar, like not like your regular white vinegar.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Shit,
unfiltered.
Chicken and shit.
Right, like unfiltered, unpasteurized.
Right.
Unpasteurized.
Right.
But teas are very good for uterine health. Like
is there a specific tea?
Mugwort tea is very good. If you're somebody who has like absent periods or like scanty type periods, wormwood is good. Black cohosh is good if you have vaginal dryness or hot flashes. What else? Green tea is good. Black tea is good. Green tea is good, and black tea is good actually if you have like genital herpes and things like that. You can like soak in a bath of green tea, and it will literally like pull the infection out of your body. Right. I mean, you will have to do it like for a period of time, but
right,
you can heal yourself naturally from like herpes and things like that with natural remedies.
Herpes. We're going to get to that in a second. All right, so Goddess goes on to say, as a woman, she doesn't have an issue with oral during her time period, but she was saying during her period, she really is a feeling that she doesn't want to be touched.
Is that
she feels
Goddess
icky.
or Goddess?
No.
Oh.
So she doesn't want to be touched during her period.
Well, I guess because you were saying feel the whole ickiness and whatever. So she feels she doesn't have an issue with oral or going out and making sure he's still satisfied, pleased, but she feels,
But she doesn't want it. Right.
Now,
that's her time. It's her moon time. She's supposed to really be trying to get in connection with herself. We're very heightened. We have very heightened sensitivity and things like that during our periods and things. So we need to really take in what's being processed or what's being shown to us, whether not like from our partners, but just in general. We're more receptive and more open spiritually. So this is the time for her to really connect with herself and not see it as a detriment rather than something that's helping her connect to her womanhood.
All right, so you really have to break down the whole curing of STD situation. How does that happen? Because a lot of women got pen and papers right now.
So let me go to my notes.
Well, we learned last night that even that what did you say? Yeast infections.
Yeah, so yeast infections
That's
are.
what I'm wearing them tight ass. Got you.
Yeast
but
infections.
you can't give it back to your
No, you
girl.
can definitely transfer a yeast infection, but yeast infection is the number one common cause for any other type of diseases that form in your body.
It's a starter.
Yeast period. And if you go like systematic yeast where it starts to travel outside of your uterus, then you can die from that. So basically, if you're somebody who has too much heat in the lower part of your body, you're more prone to yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and things of that nature. So that's when it comes to, like I said, the balance. If you have too much heat, then you need to start doing something that's going to neutralize that with maybe like watermelons, like I said, the beans, leafy greens, anything that's not going to, like, I would stay away from like dairy, like milk.
Is this on a regular basis or during that process?
I would say on a regular
yourself?
basis, especially if you're prone to that. Some women are, we're fine, but some women they're just prone to it. And it's not about being dirty or having too many sexual partners. It's just your nutrition is just not up to par. So you're still creating that yeast in your body that's the fuel for any other infections that you might have.
Do any does this apply to men as well? Like with them cleaning their bodies out?
If I
is
have a
it the
yeast
same type
infection
of
and I
remedy?
go and take medicine for my yeast infection, but my man, we just had sex and he's not taking medicine for his yeast.
He'll give it right back
He's
to
gonna
you.
give it right back to me. So, people, women, they go to the drugstore, they get Monistat and all that shit, but it's like those things only cover it up for a certain amount of time. It's not healing you. It's a topical thing. It's not going in and killing all the yeast. So that's why a woman who usually takes a Monistat or something, she has a yeast infection within another week or two, because it's not healing you. It's just really like covering it up.
But I'm saying in general with men, are they their way to keep their inner body?
I haven't got there yet with the man.
Oh, okay.
She like, fuck y'all
I'm
niggas.
still on
Nah,
the vaginas.
Right.
But I have
If
had
we call it punani, it might be easier to talk about.
I've
Or
had
for JJ.
right. I mean, I call it yoni. I call it a lot of different words that try to, make it more
Appealing.
dress
Sounds
it up,
better.
make it
Appealing,
make it
right.
more appealing. But people are just, I don't know. I think because it comes with the topic of like sex, people don't even really like to talk openly too much about their sexual experiences and things like that. People might not even, we're on a show right now talking about sex. People might not like, oh no, they're talking about too much. You know what I mean? Like I'm not comfortable. It's just, I think the people are not comfortable is that they're not comfortable with their own sexuality or in their own.
Yeah, I mean, depending
Sexual
on how a person was
experiences.
raised, a lot of people taught, don't speak about it, this and that and that and this. And I don't think it really helps the individual out in the long term. I think you really need to know your body, know what good pleasure feels like from bad pleasure. And unfortunately, we wind up learning this during the course of our lives, and it ruins a lot of individuals from knowing themselves and truly pleasing the individuals that they're actually with. I think that really pauses that. So what else you got for us before we get into these festivities you got on the
I got some
table?
proportions of foods
Okay.
for
Portions?
anyone. Yeah, so like how to proportion your diet if you are one who has herpes or herpes breakouts. So you will have 45% greens, 35%.
Good looking, Hobie.
35% veggies, 10% fruit, and 5% beans.
Break that down again.
So 45% greens,
Okay.
35% vegetables, 10% fruits, and 5% beans.
And this is a daily basis.
This is a daily basis, and I would say for at least 6 months, and you will see a difference in
So you're saying it would cure it, or
Cure
would it
it.
make it go away?
cure it. Well,
Yeah, I know a girl back in the
what's the
days that
difference
needed
between
that shit.
well,
boy.
yeah, curing it?
She was bad. She's like, I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. She's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I got herpes. I was like, I will call you. But I give her shout outs for being mad open and honest.
I would avoid. For those of you who suffer from herpes and things like that, I would avoid like coffee, tobacco, all nuts, especially like peanuts, oil.
Can you share?
Oil bearing seeds,
Y'all
sesame
having-
oil.
I'm sorry.
Well,
No, because they having a man conversation over there. He's not sure.
no, he was just saying, dude, my man Steve was like, dude, it's funny as hell. Like, I have issues, yes.
Oh,
I let every know thing that's going in there. She always think I'm holding
hi,
back.
Steve.
You can log on to the chat from your phone.
So
okay.
for
Yeah, go straight to
women
the
so let me talk about
yeah,
what a
okay.
vaginal steam actually does and how I started vaginal steaming. So a vaginal steam is for anyone who needs to balance their pH if they experience heavy periods, cramps, endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. If they want to tighten and tone their vagina, if they want to tap in, if you're more of a spiritual person and you like to like meditate and things, it's a good way to like connect with your body. Release any emotional traumas that you have if you had any type of like sexual like molestation, rape, miscarriages, all of that. We as women especially, we store a lot of our emotions in our wombs. So when we sweep things under the rugs, we're just sweeping things right into our wombs, and that's why one of the reasons why we do have crazy periods, because we sweep all our emotions there.
Right.
So if you're trying to release all of that, then a vaginal steam would be the best thing to do. And this is a little.
She gave me one.
Oh yeah, I did.
She gave you a
So
vaginal
it's a,
steam.
I have this is my
I think
little
you might have to explain
sound
that a little
bowl, but
better.
I have a little blend in here. It was charging on my altar, so I figured I'd bring it. So basically, you would like take the blend of herbs and you would make it on your stove like a tea. Boil it for 10 minutes, let it cool for 10 minutes, and then you will pour it into like a crock pot or like a ceramic or metal bowl where you would, if you're familiar with yoga, you would sit in child's pose over the bowl and you will wear like a long skirt and let the steam permeate the vagina. It feels amazing. And
So-
your girl might want to hop on you right after.
Is
because
it
I keep hearing about all my clients being like horny as hell afterwards.
after I was about to ask, like, when a lady does this, does it turn them on? Now, what about you personally? Is that something that, well, you know,
It's a nice sensation.
you see her face, y'all? I just want you to see her face.
It's a nice
Like,
sensation.
yo.
Just think about it. It's a nice
my
sensation.
God.
So
Her hips was moving.
yeah,
She was like,
see when I had my first client do it and she described it to me, the only thing she could do was move her body. Like I was sitting with her, she was like, I just felt like, and she just kept moving. She was like, I don't even know how to explain it. I was like, well, your body is explaining it. Like so, you just feel like queenish, like royalty. It just feels clean and detoxed, and you just feel fresh, and you just wanna.
So you take the herbs that we're gonna make sure we get all your info.
Yep,
So you
take the
take the
herbs.
herbs. You put it on a pot, stove for 10 minutes.
Boil it, let
You
it
let
cool.
boil. You cool down. Don't burn your vaginas with me.
Yes,
All right? 'Cause I know some chick
yes, no,
is
because
gonna
one of my
fucking do
friends,
it.
she didn't. I'm like, why you didn't test the heat? Like
Yeah,
before you
yeah.
use a curling iron, you test the heat. Like
Right.
she didn't. She sat on it and she
That
said,
she got a defaced vagina.
my
you know?
lips. She's like, my lips was burning. I was like, well, what lips was burning? Like.
She got a defaced.
And you know what? I was talking to another client the other day. She said she was watching some show and the lady had did a vaginal steam and her whole vagina like swelled up, closed shut, all this shit. So
She did. It was too hot.
She went to the hospital and she was telling the doctor was like, walk me through what you did. And she walked him through, but her husband didn't tell her that he had made his 4C chili
Oh no, he
in
did.
the pot
Oh,
the
Oh,
night
my
before and
gosh.
didn't rinse it
So
out
the
that
chili
well.
went
So
up.
Well, I'm mad at her for not washing the fucking pot. Forget him. You about to do a vaginal steam. You ain't
yes.
in that fucking pot,
it was
whatever.
the chili in the pot that closed her shit shut.
Goddess, we're gonna make sure you get all the information. Goddess says she definitely wants to try this out.
So my Instagram is BU Beauty Official, which is BEYOU.
Hold on, let me. Can I get my
Oh,
phone?
sorry.
Gosh, people be rushing and stuff. You know what I mean? This is what I deal with here. Just want y'all to know. Oh my gosh.
BU Beauty Official. I'm giving my Yoni Steams away for $20 right now. I have a coupon for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So if you go to beauty.com and put Sacred Portal in the coupon or the promo box, you will get $10 off. But they're usually $30. So take advantage for the next 10 days, 11 days in the month. Get your vagina on and popping.
What brought you into this? Like, how do you just you
So
wake up one
I-
day and you be like, yo,
I
need
just
it.
want to steam vaginas.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So I'm a hair and makeup artist for production for my everyday life.
You in there, E?
yeah, but how do I leave a comment?
I
called
started
tapping.
making natural products about 5 years ago. All of my products I've started were based off of need of somebody. Working in beauty, I found out that you only have to put 5 natural ingredients in a product and you can label it as all natural.
Nice.
So I found that misleading to the consumer.
Absolutely.
And at the time I had loved ones passing away from cancer and I felt like we count calories but we don't count chemicals. And when we go to the hospitals and things like that, they don't tell us how to eat better or what we're putting on our bodies that is really detrimental to why we might have these problems. So I started with a hair and skin mask that's 100% natural. And then so now I have 5 products. This last product was a vaginal steams because I started it based off a need for myself. This is the only product that I started from my own personal need. I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, earlier this year. I've been wanting to do vaginal steams for women for like 2 years now.
Right.
But this year, I had just got diagnosed with PCOS, and I've diagnosed because I unlike most women who've gotten their periods at young ages, 10, 11, 12, whatever, when I was 17, I still didn't have a menstrual cycle. So for the past 11 years, I've been going back and forth trying to figure out why I don't have a period. And now I finally figured out what it is, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is one in every 10 women have it, and we don't produce enough estrogen. So we produce more testosterone since the chemical imbalance doesn't allow us really to have our periods.
Okay.
It can lead to infertility and all that stuff. So my only treatment from the doctor was birth control. And he's like, if you don't get 6 periods on your own, you're prone to uterine cancer and breast cancer.
Wow.
I said, well, if you put me on birth control for a long period of time, I'm prone to those things just as well.
Exactly.
Right.
So he's like, well, don't worry about that. Just start the pills. I said, he's like,
A
you're
fucking
gonna,
doctor.
right? He's
Yeah.
like, well, you're
Doctors
gonna.
want us to be sick. That's what they make money.
He's
off
like, well, you're
of.
gonna
If
get
we're
your
healthy,
period
then
while
they
you're
go
on
out
the
of
pills.
business.
He's like, don't worry about it because you're gonna get your period while you're on the pills. I said, but that's not a real period.
Right.
He was stuck.
Like a force.
He was stuck because he didn't know that I knew that wasn't a real period. Because you tell somebody to go on birth control to get a period, they think, okay, that's my period. But my mom worked for Planned Parenthood for 10 years, and I've been going through this for so long that I know that birth control is not a real period. It's actually like breakthrough bleeding. So when they designed birth control, they designed it wouldn't have come with a period, but they made it have a period so that women would be more comfortable with going on birth control. They would feel like, if they're not getting a period, they'll feel like that was abnormal.
Right.
But the fact that they're giving you this period, you feel like it's normal, but it's not a real period. It's just you're taking these pills that don't have any hormones in it, so you're really having breakthrough bleeding. So if I took the contraceptive pills regularly and I missed 2 days or 3 days, I'm going to have breakthrough bleeding. The same way that if I take those pills in the middle,
Right.
it's just breakthrough bleeding. It's not you having a real period. So when I told him that, he was kind of stuck. And he was like, well, how do you know that? And then I told him how. And then he was like, well, I would still try to go on it anyway.
Words.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to start steaming my vagina. And I started blending some herbs together. My brother's best friend is an herbalist, and we would talk.
Nice.
He would give me his notes and things like that. And I would just start blending herbs, and I've been getting my period every month. So
Now, it's not painful. It's not...
no, I don't have any painful periods. It just comes. It's like 3-4 days long, and it goes. And
Have you been back to the doctor since?
so I go back this month.
All right, and you'll be able to... So we're
I'll be
going
able
to
to
have
tell
her
him.
back because we're talking healthy. We're talking about natural. And unfortunately, a lot of times, a lot of these medical professions, you have to understand that the pharmaceutical business is a $1 trillion industry.
Right.
There are certain things that they will never cure. Cancer.
Right.
It's too profitable. If you tell someone in order to live, you have to come up with $10,000. And
Even
they do it.
yesterday, when we was in the elevator, they were like, "Oh, is that even healthy for
Right.
you to steam your vagina?"
Yeah.
What would the doctors say? And I'm like, "Well, the doctors are going to tell you not to do it because they're not making any money off of it." But this
Absolutely.
is not a new practice. This is something that's been going on for centuries in other countries, Africa, Korea, all the Easternized way of living. They all steam their vaginas, and
What
they're
up,
all
Little?
living longer than us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just that
They are healthier
we
than
need
us.
to partake and learn from other people and stop feeling like our way is the way when uterine cancer is like the 4th common cancer, or endometrial cancer is the 4th common cancer in cancers.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of things we consume in the air and everything, it's filled with so many harmful shit itself. But the fact that you went from not having it to having it just from natural stuff, and I want to bring you back because I want to find out what the doctor said.
Yeah, I
as
want to
far
find out
as
what he
your-
says
you
too,
know,
when he asked me what
that.
I've been
And
doing.
we're gonna bring
Because he
her
gave me a
back because we want y'all to know, right?
for the birth control, and
yeah.
I still got it.
Yeah, because of course, these doctors get sent on cruises and vacations by these $1 trillion businesses to keep you medicated and different things. And I remember there was a book that came out a long time ago about natural healing. They sat a old black person down and Latin person down. They found out toothache, tea leaves, and shit like that. Cloves, and they shut that shit down quick because they started taking a hit. But your body is a natural fighter. If you combine that, if you just take it off a vibrate, we won't hear it.
Even
Exactly.
If you
if you fast for a good amount of time, you can heal your body naturally.
right, I'm saying there are a lot of, because your body is built a certain way, if you combine it with certain things, yeah, you could cure yourself of a lot of different things out there. But unfortunately, you know, we get hit with something, and the first thing we want to do is chemo, and it deteriorates.
I have a
you.
cousin right
Hair
now
falls
who,
out, and
she has stage 4 stomach cancer, and she did one round of chemo, and it was so harsh on her body that she can't even do another round of chemo.
yeah,
And I've been trying to get her to do some natural things, but it's like
it's not better than her.
You can lead people to the water, but you can't make.
Well,
them
it's just
drink it,
again,
right?
you know, unfortunately, we've been told the only way you can heal something is because of chemo. You know, that's what we're being taught. And as soon as someone
Chemo
hears,
only has a 3% survival rate.
yeah, but as soon as you hear natural, you know, they think witchcraft, they think this, they
Hmm.
think that. You know, it's natural.
I love being called a
You know what I
witch.
mean? It's no,
I
you're
love
not
it.
sitting there with a spell book in it. But,
Oh no, I am right here.
Well, I mean, it's just more lines
and
of,
here,
you know,
and here, and here.
but it's something that grows, which is natural. Just like for those individuals that do have different kinds of medical issues going on, and they smoke weed, and it makes them feel better.
Even
it allows them
cannabis
to
for
eat.
the uterine health. Like I've been researching a lot of. I'm in courses right now for being a vaginal steam facilitator and healing women vaginally through Chinese medicine.
That
And
dude got like her followers went up like 7 million for just from dudes, just from dudes.
but it's definitely I've definitely been learning a lot as far as healing women like naturally, and how cannabis can really help for like period pains and fibroids and things like that.
Especially thyroids, yeah.
So yeah, I will be putting CBD oil in my products soon. CBD oil is really good for the vagina as well as other things, but
Old man heard was vagina and good.
and CBD, exactly. Cannabis, okay. So,
All right, so what else do you have on the table?
so I have my little sound bowl over here.
Can you pick it up so they can see it?
Oh yes, this is.
They
what
saw it
it
with the
looks
herbs, and they
like.
thought it was weed at
It's-
first.
So this is my vaginal steam sitting in here. I packaged them, and I had a little bit left over, and I just was gonna use it for myself. So I sit it in here just to I charge it with crystals and stuff. So I'll probably use that over the weekend.
Absolutely, it hits their pockets, Martinez.
So I have some books on like crystals and crystal healing, candle magic, some rituals.
This is
These
the which chakra? Is this?
Yeah, hold it
tell
right,
me.
E. Hold
This
it right.
is the. I have my notes from last night.
I love the way that look on the screen. It look fire because it's.
It is the heart chakra.
I was gonna say that.
So let's talk about the chakras.
Oh, it's right here. Heart, brain, throat.
So basically, there are 7. Well, there are, like I said earlier, we have a bunch of chakras on our body, but there's 7 main energy centers that go along the base of our spine, starting from the bottom, going up to the top. So your root chakra, they're color coordinated. So your root is red. They're kind of like the colors of the rainbow. So you can balance your chakras by wearing whatever color coordinates to the chakra that you're trying to balance. So your root chakra has to do with like your survival, your grounding, your security in the world and things like that. If you're like very fearful and things, and you know that your root chakra is off. If you feel like you don't know your place in the world, and you know that you need to be more grounded and try to be more earth rooted. So there's 7 chakras. The first 3 chakras are like physical matter, and then the 4th chakra is the heart, which connects the spirit and the physical, if that makes any sense. So you go from your root chakra, then you have your sacral chakra, which is, if you touch your belly button, it's 2 fingers under your belly button, which is like your womb, basically. So, like I said earlier, the women
And
that
men
have
wombs.
yeah, men have wombs. They have spiritual wombs, where females have physical wombs. So you guys
So while
still,
y'all's physical, we spiritual.
because we have
We-
babies. I don't think. Do you want to have the baby?
Exactly.
I'll hold it for you.
So that has to do with our connection, our ability to accept others, and our emotions and things like that.
Okay.
When it's unbalanced, that's when one of the reasons why we have heavy periods and things like that. So if you're one that has all those cramp things and stuff, it's showing you that your sacral chakra is not balanced. And then 2 fingers up from your belly button is your solar plexus, and that comes with your your confidence in the world and your self-esteem and stuff like that.
A lot of people got problems with that shit. But yeah.
That's yellow. So if you feel like you have low self-esteem and things, you should wear yellow. try to brighten up your, your aura and things. You can also eat color coordinated foods for your chakras as well. So your fourth chakra.
So the yellow squash goes with your
yellow squash, yellow peppers, bananas, all those. If you eat an orange, then it'll help with your solar plexus. If you eat a red apple, then it'll help with your root chakra.
You trying to help
I'm
vegetables
trying
and
to help.
fruit stock go up, girl. You better buy some first, then watch it go up.
Then, so your heart is your fourth chakra, which is this. It's green. Your heart connects, like I said, the physical and the spirit. Most people that have an unbalanced heart chakra will have any heart problems. That, so if you have high blood pressure, if you have hypertension, if you have any type of cardiology problems, then that means your heart chakra is unbalanced. Your throat chakra is blue. Most people that have thyroid issues, I always ask them, like, when you were younger, did you have problems, like, voicing your opinion, speaking your truths? Like, were you more seen and not heard? And the majority of the times they tell me yes, and I tell them, oh, that's because your throat chakra is unbalanced. And when something is unbalanced so long, it starts to create a physical matter, which becomes a physical disease. So you having thyroid issues is because your throat chakra is messed up. Third eye is your sixth one, so that's helping you see the bigger picture, being more optimistic, your spiritual connection. And once that spiritual connection is open, then you can ascend to your crown chakra, which is having total alignment. So
Is there a color for your third eye?
Yeah, so your third eye is like purple, and then your crown is indigo, like blue, like a dark blue. So yeah, so I'm here and I'm helping women, get into alignment.
Y'all dudes, F y'all. But go ahead.
No, because it's what it's not.
Better women.
No, because it's about self-care. It's about self-care. When I love myself unconditionally and completely, I'm able to sit. I'm able to share. It's not even looking for you to love me. It's us sharing our love. You know what I mean? Wow. I'm able to share my love with you because I have enough love to share. If I don't love myself enough, I can't share it with you.
I always thought that was one of the craziest things in the world when someone wants you to love them when they don't even love themselves. Like nothing you do or say would help that person out. But a lot of people don't realize
that they don't love themselves because they think that the only way to receive love is from outside, from other people.
Happiness is really an inside job.
Sorry, could you write down her website and her information inside the the chat? Okay. If people want to know where they can find you.
Yes, find me. So yeah, happiness is an inside job, and once you realize that you can't look for anybody to make you happy, then that's like the first step of, I think, self-discovery.
Okay, all right.
And it's attractive when you know someone.
Oh, absolutely. I always tell people you could buy an outfit, wear it twice. One when you're super confident, one when you're not, and you'll look more better when you're super confident compared to when you. Because I think you give it off a lot. People can tell when you just like. You give off that, like, but when you, like, walking head up high, whatever, like, okay, what's up?
Right.
Nice.
It starts with your underwear that you have on.
Yeah, please stop wearing these big-ass fucking drawers, women. Like.
As during the period,
I don't give a damn if it's your period or not.
Like, you want her to wear
if you're in
pretty period panties?
Right.
No, there's no such thing as pretty period panties. Unless, like, there's a person, I think there's a difference between, like, tampons and pads. The type of underwear you can wear. Yeah, I understand that. But, like, there's boy shorts. You could still be sexy and still be on, like, I don't want to see no drawers my grandma had on.
So you want to see the wings hanging out? You want to see the
I'd rather see the wings hang out with some sexy-ass shorts on than you with these big-ass fucking bloomers and it look like you got...
She's not trying to mess them up.
Look like you got one...
She's not trying to have an accident
one
and mess
booty.
Up her
you don't have
nice
two
panties.
cheeks. You got one cheek. Yeah. I still want you to be sexy on your
when
period.
they get messed up. All right.
I mean, you sitting there like, damn, she got one butt. Like, I got one cheek. She got a cheek. Like, she got cheeks, she got cheek. There's no plural there. You know what I mean? At all. All right, what else do we have on the table?
So we have some tarot cards. We have some crystals. We have a Kristen healing.
Why doesn't it let you put a web address?
It's not let you put it? Yeah. All right, I'm going to put it up. Give me your website again.
I'm going to put her Instagram and then it's on her Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
Because it won't let me put a website.
All right.
What you say?
No, I'm saying you got the books.
Oh, yeah. So, I make my products based off the face. People always ask me, like, what's the difference between your products and this natural product? So I make my products based off the phases of the moon. So I make my products based from new moon to full moon. The new moon to the full moon is when the energy is the highest. So I like to try to put as much positivity and energy into my products as possible, because I feel like intention is everything. You can tell the difference from a franchised restaurant rather than when somebody makes you a home cooked meal that they put love into.
Absolutely.
So my products aren't like a Dove soap that's mass produced. It's more like a specialty item that put a lot of thought and intention into. So you feel all of that energy every time you get that experience.
So it's just BU or BU official?
No, I'm fixing it.
It's
Okay.
It's
BEYOU.
Beauty official.
Official.
I just put BU
Okay.
Beauty.
That's what I'm about to say.
So, if even when it comes to like doing your regimens, like your self-care regimens, so like if you're one to do waxing is best done when the moon is waning, which means when the moon is leaving, your pain threshold is lower. So when you get those type of services, it doesn't feel as painful as it would if you were to get it when the moon was forming. That if you were to wax your eyebrows or whatever while the moon is forming, it's going to be a little more painful, and your hair is going to grow back faster. So I'm sure you've shaved before and you feel like, God damn, like my hair just grew back mad fast. But then you shave other times, it's like, oh, my hair didn't grow back that fast this time.
Fucking to do face up and all that shit while you down there?
So basically, based off the moon phases, will tell you if your hair is going to grow back faster or slower. So like I said, I do hair for a living. So if somebody gets a haircut and they want their hair grows fast, but they want it to stay, I'm going to cut their hair after the full moon because it's going to grow back slower.
Nice.
If I want their hair to grow, then I'm going to cut their hair going into the full moon so that their hair can grow faster.
All right.
So-
All right. So, E, any questions before we end this segment?
No.
And we got time for one topic, so we're going to do one
She's my
topic.
personal divine feminine healer.
She got all the questions. She knows.
All right, so E, real quick, have you tried the steam yet?
She gave it to me last night.
You ain't tried it
haven't
last
used
night?
it- No.
So E didn't get that
I-
phone call. Go ahead. See, I love catching up. Oh, my.
No, I did not use it yet.
All right, so when we bring her back, we want to make sure that we
Yeah.
I'll
experience
use it.
and,
I'm
and
gonna
anyone
use
out
it.
there, if you're in the tri-state area and you tried it out, you like to come on or let us know how you felt better about yourself, and especially for you ladies that have been having a lot of painful cycles, and this helps it out. We definitely want to know, and
Yes.
we want to help spread the word. Because, what you're doing is you're allowing a lot of these pharmaceutical companies to continue to be rich by also, putting a lot of poison and chemicals inside your body. So we want to get more natural.
Yes.
Any last words before we end this segment? Because what we do here, we come on, we do segments, we go off, we come back. So we have enough time for one topic. We're going to do one topic. So we're going to end this.
I just want to say your vagina matters.
Yes,
so-
it does, ladies. Your vagina matters.
Partake in some
It's the most
self-care.
powerful thing
Yes,
in the world.
we
You
always
out your
we're
everlasting
taught
mind.
to
But go ahead.
detox our.
It runs the world.
No, it doesn't. Dick runs the world.
We're taught to detox our kidneys, our livers, but we're never taught to detox our wombs.
Right.
We always want to have we always think our vaginas is the tightest, the freshest, whatever. And we always want it to work for us, but like, what do we ever do for it?
That is true.
So take some time for your vagina and your body and just love and,
And guys,
appreciate
don't
her.
just pound it out. Learn about it.
Yeah, learn about
so
it.
you can take good care of it too. It's not just one way to take care of it.
Right.
Also, when we come back, we have some entertainment. So we'll talk about the trending topics. We're
Those are
gonna
all right.
do-
Those who know what we do here, sorry. What we do is we do a segment, we log off, and we log back on. So don't go anywhere. Give us like 2 minutes. Give it time. We talk between ourselves, and then we come back. We're going to come back with one of our 4 topics, the best one. And we'll do that. And we want to thank you again for tuning in. Don't go nowhere. Continue to tune in because it gets funnier.
Thank you, Goddess, for
He has
following
issue.
me.
Oh, yeah. Follow her, y'all. This is some great stuff here. Kitty Cats does.
That's right. Who said that?
Kitty cats matter. Your kitty matters.
Y'all hot mess, man. Y'all hot mess. Give us 2 minutes. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about one of our topics, and we're going to get out of here.
No, we're gonna do all of them real fast.
Absolutely not. We're going to do one. We'll get out of here. I have some place I got to be.
He got some.
So, yeah, we're going to do one. We'll come back. Give us like 2 minutes. I'll beat that up in the morning. Don't go nowhere, y'all. Chicks and Flicks, man.
Majestic.